Here's a dirty little secret in the print-on-demand world. Some people just aren't creative, and it's a little embarrassing sometimes to admit that. So in this video, no worries. I've got 3 tips on how you can take vintage or free public domain clip art, like what you're seeing on the screen here, and make completely legal t-shirt designs. I've got 3 methods. They're pretty straightforward. Let's jump in. For this video, I'm going to be on a website called Openclipartorg. It's all free, legal, public domain pictures. So what that means is that you can use these for unlimited commercial use. You just go down here to the bottom and it says license. I'll click on license and it says, can I use clip arts for commercial use? Absolutely. Now look, there may be the occasional trademarked item in here because you can't police tens of thousands of images. So obviously I do want to throw the disclaimer out there that if you see something that looks suspiciously like Mickey Mouse, maybe, tread with some caution. But I'm going to be going into the search bar here and I'm going to type in Darwin. Charles Darwin, of course, is associated with the concept of evolution. And so it's very common to have his picture or his name associated with that. Now here on the page, I'm just simply going to click on large over on the download option, PNG large. That's going to give me the option now to take a large PNG file with a transparent background. Okay, and then I'll simply right click and I'll save image as. It depends on what browser you're using, but that's how you can save a PNG pretty easily. Method number 1 is to simply add text. So here I am in Photoshop. I'm going to shrink down my image a little bit. It is a PNG with a transparent background. So what I like to do if I'm in Photoshop or Affinity Photo is I add in a layer and then I make the layer usually white, might be yellow or some sort of light color so that I can easily see in behind. So I'm picturing the t-shirt color in behind. I'm going to shrink this down a tiny bit, put it right there, and then I'm going to add text now. I'll add a layer, hit the little text button, and just like that, I've now got a pretty easy t-shirt design. I'm just going to make sure everything's aligned now. So sometimes it's as simple as adding in some text of what the image is. You don't have to be witty or funny, just simply make it so that you're naming whatever it is. Let's do another example. Here I've grabbed a map, but it's also a flag of the United States. And now I'm going to add some text in underneath. So you could put in anything you want underneath here and you could make it funny. And then again, that would be a nice t-shirt design. Again, not something probably I would wear, but it's not all about me. It's about the client. It's about the customer. And so you're trying to figure out niches that sell, but using a simple piece of clip art, you could have a bunch of text either around it, above it, below it, and that makes a pretty easy t-shirt design. Example number 2 is to simply combine 2 public domain images into one design. So here I've got Charles Darwin back, and I'm going to add in another image now. And in this case, it's going to be a pair of sunglasses. You simply add in something like that, and then you could add in text if you wanted as well. But the combination of an old vintage image with something ridiculous like a top hat or something modern like sunglasses, or maybe he's talking on a cell phone or some sort of modern thing strapped to it, can really make the design funny, and some people really like that. And so, I've sold many designs like this. Here's another example. It doesn't need to be an actual person. Here I've just got a vintage skull. I'm going to just make him nice and big. Again, a great t-shirt design, simple, easy, and it's kind of funny. There you go. Pretty easy to do. So that would look great on a t-shirt as well. I'm just going to make sure that these sunglasses are a little bit centered. Another thing you can do is slightly rotate them just this tiniest little bit, and it just makes it look a little more natural as opposed to placing clip art exactly plumb and vertical. And again, that can be a great looking t-shirt design as well. Method number 3 is to use borders or frames to make your design look radically different. So here on Openclipart, I've just typed in border. There's a whole bunch of different borders that come back. Some of them have hearts, some of them have different geometric shapes. And so I'm going to pick this one here. I really like this one, wicker weave border. I'm going to pick the large PNG file. So the question now becomes, what do you put in the frame? Well, I've typed in here Paris, and again, I'm just using Openclipart as an example. You could go to any public domain website, but here, for example, is a great Paris design. It's got Paris and looks like a peace symbol. So there's nothing wrong with this design. You could use this as is. I'm going to right click and save it. All right, and here's my design now inside of Photoshop. So you could just use it as is, or you could make the frame a great addition to the design as well. I'm going to make this a bit smaller, and I'm going to have this thing punching out of the frame like this. So it's kind of bursting out. And just like that, that could radically change the way the design looks. You could also use poster prints and you could put them inside the frame as well. So the nice thing about Photoshop is that you can modify and move things around. You could do this in Affinity Photo as well. So I'm going to take my Paris poster. and I'm going to make it nice and big. And I'm going to take my frame and I'm going to make it so that it's framed around the design. And I'm actually going to put it slightly in front of the poster print. And so that now will just be butting up against the edges of the print. So again, it's niche. Not everybody likes this. Some people do, but you can make something that's very basic like a poster print. You can give it an extra accent and it can really look nice on a t-shirt or a fine art print. I really hope you found this walkthrough helpful. Not everybody is naturally creative, and that's totally okay. You deserve to have some fun creating designs and making sales in the print-on-demand world as well. Here's another video on how you can supercharge your print-on-demand journey and have some fun doing it.